Welcome everybody, thanks for tuning in. We've got a fun review today on the new RockyMounts GuideRail rack. This is Max. He has been putting a ton of miles on this thing, as well as myself behind the van. We've done everything from off-road shuttle days to cross-state road trips, so we've put some big miles on this thing and are excited to get into it. So this is RockyMounts' new tiered bike rack system. It's currently in the 2-bike configuration. It has some really neat integrated features. Comes with a big and burly heavy-duty square chain looped bike chain, anti-wobble, and is quite adaptable, again, based on wheel size or wheel width. So Max, why don't you get into some of the features and things that you liked about the rack?
Yeah, I transported a lot of different kinds of bikes on the rack and had no issues. It takes tire size from 19 millimeters up to 3 inches. So gravel bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, they were all like pretty sturdy on the rack, and I had no issues.
And then the diameter is also adaptable from 20 inch to 29 inch, correct?
Correct. You just have to move the bracket on the load arm that secures against your tire. It's got different positions. You just have to move it down with each different wheel size.
Okay. And as far as max wheelbase of the bike, how long of a bike can they get on there?
Yeah, 55 inches is the longest wheelbase. RockyMounts suggests that if the center of your hub, if you go straight up from the end of the rack to the center of your hub, if it's over the end of the rack, it's too long.
Okay. So like on our bike, we're obviously, 4 inches in on either side, so we've got quite a bit of room to grow.
Right.
And this is a size large Trek Fuel EXE, so it's a 29 inch wheeled large e-bike, so we still have plenty of room to go on that.
Yeah, and I've even put XL size frames on here, no issues.
Okay. So installing the rack, the security, the stability of the rack, talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, super stable. You just cinch it down with the hitch pin. Okay. And you tighten that up with a 19 millimeter socket or the wrench that's provided, and you just cinch that down nice and tight, and it's really sturdy. I had no, you'd go on bumpy shuttle roads and the rack was super secure.
Okay. And then speaking of security, obviously this heavy duty lock that comes with it.
Yeah, it's hefty.
It is, yeah, pretty solid and hefty. That mounts to this rack, correct?
Correct. So there's a space right here in the end of the rack that this link of the chain will slide into, and you just drive a pin through the end of the rack and it locks it. It's really simple, it's really secure. Yeah, should be able to lock up both bikes.
Okay. And then we did get kind of an early sample. So this chain we found with some bike configurations was a little bit short. However, we were told that RockyMounts has since remedied that problem, and all future racks that are going out as production racks will have a longer chain by a few links. So that issue shouldn't be a problem any longer. I think, we're big sticklers for safety, and I wouldn't leave the bikes on a rack overnight. If you're going into a gas station and getting a quick bite, it'd probably be sufficient, but more safety is never a bad idea, right? Especially since this will only go through the frame and not through your wheels. So a secondary longer cable, if you're really gonna be planning on stopping for a long period of time, would never hurt.
Yeah.
So, but we really like that feature, right? I mean, it's really nice and neat that just clips right to the rack itself, and you got some peace of mind, and it's a pretty solid piece of equipment.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most secure feeling lock system I've seen on a rack.
Cool. Now let's talk a little bit about ease of loading the bike, adjusting the wheel size, diameter, and securing the bikes down. Where do you think this thing shines?
Yeah, it's just, it's really easy to use. Honestly, I had no issues. You just plop the bike on there, you cinch these down and you push them so they're tight, and you're good to go.
Okay.
No fuss. Yeah.
Yeah. And now it's obviously there's probably gonna be some people out there that are like, this looks a lot like the one-up rack, and it kind of does, right? And it's a popular rack. A lot of people like the one-up. You've used it a lot.
Yep.
I personally am not a huge fan because I always felt like it was kind of hard to figure out how to undo it, or keep the arms up and secure the bike down. Can you talk a bit of comparison, right? Because you've spent a lot of time using a one-up rack as well.
Yeah, on the one-up, the release lever for the load arm, you kind of have to keep it held up while you move the arm, and then you don't have a free hand to like hold your bike as it's like teetering back and forth. Whereas this, you can open the lever and it stays open, so you have a free hand to slide the arm down and hold your bike. So it just, yeah, it frees up a hand, and it's a lot easier to use, I found, than the one-up.
And that, I guess the key to that, right, is this latching mechanism. You can open it and it keeps it unlocked, and then once you close that, now you're locking that system in, right?
Correct, yeah.
And then when it comes to releasing the bike, you can do this to unlock it, but the best way, especially when there is tension under the bike, is to just depress that blue tab, and that will release some of the tension, and from there you can pop that open, slide it out of the way, and it stays open and access for you to get your bike out or back in. So to me, I think that's one of the neatest features in terms of usability of this rack, and when comparing it to others similar styles.
Yeah, definitely. At first I was just trying to crank on these tabs to open them, and I felt like I was gonna bend one or break one, and then after going on RockyMounts website, learned the little trick to push in on the end of the tab first, which kind of releases the tension, and then you can just pop it open really easy. So.
Okay. And then as far as storing the rack, folding it up out of the way, let's pull this bike out real quick. We'll show them how quick and easy that is. Give that a nice little pop. That's out of the way. I'll take the bike.
And then these, you can just leave the tabs open and you can just fold them shut.
Okay. And then for transport, right, if you're driving around and you're not tearing bikes out, fold this thing up out of the way.
Yeah, there's a big handle here on the other side that you just pull up on, and that's it. It's cool. It's easy.
And then will it drop down out of the way as well?
Correct, yeah. So same handle, you just pull up on, drop it past the locking point, and it'll drop down, and like it has enough room to clear like the tailgate. Even with the bike on, it like sticks out this way so it doesn't interfere with this.
Okay, cool. Obviously with a price tag of 850 bucks, it is not the cheapest, but I guess bike racks just aren't cheap in general, are they? They're all pretty dang spendy.
Yeah, biking.
Yeah, welcome to biking, right? If you guys have any questions that we didn't answer or get to, please write them down below. We'd be happy to address those and touch on anything that we missed here in the video. There's also a full-length written review that's up on our website. We'll link that down below, so go check it out. We'd like to thank RockyMounts for sending us this rack to test out. It's definitely a welcome addition to our bike rack fleet. I know we've gifted and donated a couple of racks to make room, and we plan on keeping this one because it works really well. It looks good, it's durable and sturdy. So thank you guys very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'd love to see you back in future videos. Thank you, and we'll see you out on the trails.